He was in both the Army and the Air Force, and now he does comedy. Thanks to the Armed Services Arts Partnership, ASAP, which helps integrate veterans, service members, and military families into their communities through the arts.
I first served in active duty Air Force as a security forces journeyman or military police. And then after a few years of doing that, I retrained into bioenvironmental engineering apprentice, basically like testing the base drinking water, putting on the ET suit if there's a chemical spill. And then after about 7.5 years in the Air Force, I switched over to the Army National Guard and served about 7.5 years there as a chaplain's assistant. The only place I deployed as a chaplain's assistant was to New Orleans after Hurricane Katrina in 2005. Well, I was scrolling down my Facebook timeline one day and I saw a post on the Team Red, White, and Blue page, and it was from this organization called Armed Services Arts Partnership, and they were advertising for a comedy boot camp class for military veterans. I've always hated public speaking, but after thinking about it for a couple of weeks, I went ahead and applied and got in, and after doing stand-up for a little over a year, I'm more comfortable being terrified in front of large groups of people. Thank you. As Ty said, I was in the Army and the Air Force. And in the Air Force, they were glamping before there was even a word for it. When we deployed, our tents had air conditioning, cable TV, fridge, microwave, real beds. It was kind of like a nice hotel. When I deployed in the Army, they're like, sleep on this dirt. And if you're hungry, here's an MRE. And for those of you that didn't already know, MRE means meal ready to eat. And it comes in a plain brown package, kind of like a Lunchable for adults. It tastes like stale dog food, but it's edible because everyone comes with that little bottle of Tabasco sauce. Yeah, this guy knows. And I remember one deployment I was on with the Army, somehow they didn't have enough ammunition to give everybody. So they told me to take an empty magazine, put it in my rifle, and pretend it's loaded. And thankfully, I wasn't one of the soldiers that got shot at on that deployment, because I don't think yelling pew, pew, pew would have helped me very much. ASAP is based out of Northern Virginia, and they promote performing arts, like stand-up, improv, storytelling, as a way to help veterans reintegrate into society and as a way to cope with anxiety and PTSD and other stuff like that. And I think one of my favorite bits is about this kid named Jalen, who didn't like me being friends with his mother. And being a veteran made me much less sensitive to what my classmates considered a crisis. This one guy was telling me how much he loved a girl that just dumped him, and he was probably expecting me to give him some kind of helpful advice. But what I told him was, if you liked it, then you should have put a ring on it. We didn't plan that. And because of the age difference, I made friends with the parents more often than I did with my classmates. And there was this one kid, Jalen, that didn't like that very much. He'd always tell me, "You're not allowed to go out with my mom." Well, one day he saw me having lunch with his mom in the cafeteria, and he got mad at me. Now, I assume he got mad at me because he walked up and slapped me in the face with a Nintendo controller and said, "I challenge you to a Mario Kart duel." So we played the Mario Kart, but it wasn't even close. I beat him so bad that as I crossed the finish line, I dropped the controller and said, "Who's your daddy?" He said, "Not you." And I said, "Not yet."